Hey everyone, welcome back to another review. This is going to be kind of unscripted, so I'm going to try to make everything sound decent, but I want to give you a bit of a review on a retro product, at least for Game Boys. It is a Nyko Blob White. So, way back when, before we had things like the Switch OLED and stuff like that, we didn't really have a backlight. I'll show you real quick. This is Dukes of Hazzard on a unmodified Game Boy Color. This is really hard to see. And you gotta catch it in just the right light, or else you can't really see what's going on too well. It actually looks better in the camera. But, by the way, sorry if I sound a bit off, I'm actually getting over a cold. But we had this Blob White, and so there were a few different ones like this over the years. We had like a Worm White, one that had like a, whatchamacallit, like a control pad attached to it, and like a joystick and stuff like that. And I had one for a Game Boy Advance, but it broke pretty quickly. So the thing is, as you'll see in a second, it helps you see in the dark. So if it's at nighttime, you're trying to play while you're supposed to be going to bed, stuff like that, or you're in the car. It's useful for that, but it does have a bit of a glare to it, which I'll show in a second. But I think this one's pretty cool, though. I found this a few years ago. Brand new to package, revolutionary, patented white source. Requires no batteries or power adapters. Yeah, but it'll drain your batteries quicker though. Lifetime white source never needs replacement. I guess it doesn't actually need a bulb. But I don't know if it really. I don't know how long they last. This is 20 years old. Ideal for play all low light conditions and travel conditions. Rubber material holds shape for consistent light focus. Now, that's the thing. Hold on, let me go ahead and attach this really quick. Hopefully, Chronomancer sped it up. Thank you, Mr. Editor. So anyway, though. So yeah, it is pretty cool that it does hold its shape. It's just that maybe it's over years from age. Maybe it's just the way it's designed. It's kind of a snug fit, almost too snug. But as you can see, though, it's not quite on there all the way. Have to fiddle with it a little bit. Let's see here. I think you have to do like this, maybe. Push that forward a little bit. I'm not too sure. But anywho though, you can see that is a problem nose that does tend to come unplugged a little bit. But let's actually show you what this looks like in the dark. So as you can see, I'm in a nice well-lit room right now, so it doesn't really help. But here in my laundry room, should be dark enough. And as you can see, oh great, this has not going to even think about that. As you can see, you can actually see the game decently well now. Just so, like I said, it's kind of annoying because you get that reflection on it. So you kind of have to keep angling it a little bit so it's not directly on you. But still, though, I have no idea why the game's not loading. I think it froze. But, oh, I know, it's loading. What's going on here? I've never replayed this game before, I just have a duplicate of it. Oh, I see. Because I'm not looking right at the screen, I can't really see what's going on. There we go. So I'm gonna get out of here, away from the echo. Yeah, back in the day, this would have been helpful. I didn't get a chance to use one very much because, like I said, mine broke. And, like I said, by that point, actually you can see the battery's about to die on this Game Boy. So the problem is that even though this is a really cool product, we kind of, we take it for granted nowadays with stuff like the Switch OLED and the DS lights and everything, where we can already see the screen. There's no need for something like this. But back in the day, unless you had like a Game Gear, this was, it must have been a great accessory. Like I said, you could play at night, you could play in the dark, whatever. You didn't have to just rewind a light or like holding a flashlight or something like that to actually see. By the way, I fixed the blob on the back here. You can see now it's sitting on there correctly, and you can just take out your cartridge. I don't think it would interfere with the cartridge slot too much. But the problem is that something like this now is kind of out of date, because we have now what I think is a backlit Game Boy Color now, or like an IPS modded. So I just got this done like a few months ago, and there are versions you can get, like, you know, direct plug and play ones. I have one like that, and it works just fine. There's no soldering. This one there was soldering, which I didn't do. And you know, it's a fancy system, fancy screen, but it looks beautiful. And that's the whole reason why I have Dukes of Hazzard, by the way, is I have 2 copies of it. But yeah, I mean, you know, now, I mean, here, I'll show you real quick. If we go back into the laundry room, be able to see that, well, you can see it just fine. Glare is not coming out well on the camera, but in person, though, you can see it perfectly. Absolutely perfectly, I tell you that. That's a bit better. And yeah, I mean, the thing is now, stuff like that, I mean, it's plug and play, or you can get one that's modded, and it just works right out of the box. There is no battery, well, there is extra battery drainage, but, you know, you don't have to have, like, this kind of thing where you have, like, the light trying to, like, cause a reflection on it or what have you. It works, and it's extremely gorgeous. And the thing is now, kind of like SSDs, they're one of those things where they're affordable. Everyone can get one now, and it's not hard to do. So, unfortunately, it's kind of made the backlight or the Blob light irrelevant now. I mean, I still like it because it's kind of neat looking, and it's retro, and it's just the way to experience it the way like I experienced Game Boy when growing up, which is, you know, no backlight, no nothing. It's just like this, basically. So, yeah, it's a product that hasn't aged too well, but you know what? I think it's cool for the time, and I mean, heck, they're not stupidly expensive, and above all else, it looks cool. So, alright guys, so that's just kind of a bit of a review I wanted to make real quick. I've had this in mind for a little while. I've actually had a thumbnail for it. I just shut off. The batteries just died. Yeah, I've actually had the thumbnail ready for it for a while. Just haven't got around to making it. But by the way, keep in mind, or keep a watch out for this video, or for a video on this Game Boy Color. This one specifically, I just bought this. This is actually a whatchamacallit. Sorry about my crappy filming skills, by the way. This is a Midnight Blue Game Boy Color from Japan, and I'm actually gonna do a refurbishment on it. I'm gonna have Chronomancer film it, I take it apart, give it a bath, clean it up, whatever. It works fine, other than the dead batteries, but it works fine. I need a new screen lens, which is actually showing up today. And yeah, we're gonna make a video on this and another product. It's a Game Boy Tower or something like that. It holds all your cartridges and stuff. But yeah, so gonna be doing those. Don't know when it'll get done, but anyway, yeah. Before I do my usual thing and ramble, that was the Blob light review for the Game Boy Color. So this is a pretty neat little accessory. It's not necessary now. It's completely outclassed by the IPS screen. But you know what though? I think it's pretty cool.